Well, that ingredient is bulgur. Modern scientists discovered the ancients already knew. Bulgur is a perfect food in terms of nutrients, taste, and most importantly, shelf life. Edible bulgur has been found inside Egyptian pyramids after more than 3,000 years. The doomsday ration might have cost millions to invent, but it's super cheap to make or replicate. Once you've made your first batch, get ready to forget about it because this superfood will never spoil, even in the harshest conditions and even without refrigeration. You'll always be able to keep your entire family well fed just by spending a few dollars each day. Plus, it's also lightweight enough that it belongs in your bug-out bag too. Next, you'll discover one of the foods that kept Fat Boris and the others well fed while famine gripped the city around them. It's a forgotten European dish that comes from a time when people had to get creative about preserving their food. To make it, Boris used cow feet, which he could afford, but you can use any type of fresh meat you like. The cheaper, the better. In the end, you'll have a scrumptious meal that requires no refrigeration for months and even years in some conditions. Pure protein and saturated fat that will keep you going as others wither away on grass and ruts. Next, I'll give you the recipe for the survival food that saved the Europeans during the Dark Ages, and especially as the Black Plague was ravaging the countryside. Many are thought to have survived because the vital nutrients in this complete food fortified their bodies against disease. Later, it nourished kings, children in Victoria workhouses, and even the Confederate General Richard S. Ewell, who ate it almost every meal. All the ingredients needed to make it, such as dried wheat berries, will last for a very long time in your pantry or cellar. They are also ignored by practically everybody else. So if you ever, God forbid, lose your entire stockpile, you can be sure you have at least this one superfood left. You'll also discover the Viking superfood that doesn't spoil but only gets better with age, like wine. This is what the first Viking explorers ate when they crossed the Atlantic and discovered North America, almost 500 years ahead of Christopher Columbus. The people of Norway still use this old recipe to keep all kinds of fish good for up to 3 years. I'll also show you another superfood that will give you all the healthy and vital fats your body needs in a crisis without needing any refrigeration. Rich in butyric acid, it will also help with absorbing the maximum amount of nutrition from any other food by healing and protecting your gut lining. You'll also find out how to use this Lost Superfood to turn a simple bag of potatoes into one of the most nutritious and inexpensive crisis meals to ever touch your taste buds. This one saved an entire village of Swedish farmers in 1869 when heavy avalanches blocked off their only road down the mountains for months. The next superfood you'll discover kept America from starving during the height of the Great Depression. It lasts for about 2 years without refrigeration, and the lard it's kept in can also be used for cooking, for making soap, for treating burns, or as an added fat source whenever you need it. You'll also discover a type of long-lasting bread developed by the Cree tribe of Canada when faced with starvation after the buffalo were hunted to the brink of extinction. All you need are 4 very common ingredients and maybe half an hour of your time. Plus, the way it's cooked will surely make you smile and think back on your own childhood. This bread is all you need to get energy-boosting carbs into your crisis diet. I'll also reveal the one food that saved more American lives during our Civil War than any other. Surprisingly, it's not hardtack, but it's probably just as long-lasting. This food contains something most people throw away. It's something they never even think of as real food to begin with. But you will, and I promise you'll profit a great deal from it in any disaster that empties the stores. You'll also find out how you can preserve almost any kind of cheese at room temperature. It's no secret that cheese has been around for a long time, a lot longer than refrigeration. But it was the Dutch of Alkmaar in the 14th century who invented the best way to store cheese in the pantry for more than 2 whole years. You'll also discover the superfood that helped the Mongol hordes of Genghis Khan march all the way to the gates of Vienna. Besides preventing nutrient deficiencies, this food is also the best natural probiotic that you can get, one that will counteract eating processed foods like MREs. This raw superfood was also adopted by the Royal British Navy at the end of the 17th century and has prevented countless deaths from scurvy since that time. Next, I'll show you a simple yet ingenious system that can allow anyone to put more than 290